Hi, and welcome to Just a Chat Ministries. We're back here again. I'm Craig,
I'm Andrew.
and we are going to be speaking about the question of who is God and why do we believe in God?
Yep. So, Craig, do you want to briefly give us an overview why believe in a God at all?
Yeah, I think specifically the first thing that comes to mind is Romans 1, and it talks about how God has revealed himself through the beauty of creation. I mean, you can see we're basking in the sun right now, getting the tan up, looking quite good. But yeah, we're outdoors right now. We hear the birds of the air. We're surrounded by nature, and the Bible says in Romans that creation testifies to a creator, and that creator is God. So I think that was one of the first things that actually drew me to God himself, was the fact I always believed in my heart that there was a God. I thought it was impossible. How have we got bodies that, like a heart inside of us that beats without us doing anything? How have we got mouths that we can make communication and understand each other through vibrations? And yeah, just the divine qualities, the eternal attributes of God. All these things are just so clearly and easily perceived and seen through the creation of the world. So I think that's where I'd go to start off with.
But
Andrew, where would you go?
well, I guess in talking about like God's characteristics and qualities and how we exist, like some people will just say, well, that's just nature, that's just chance, that's just biology, that's just evolution. But like through studying the topic myself, even if we look at the chance of one protein existing, it's mind-boggling how small a chance that is. So proteins are what essentially let any cell function, from the smallest single cell organism to us. And like you would need to win the lottery like a ridiculous amount of times, so like well over 1 billion times in a row before you get anywhere close to the chance that one protein could form, never mind the hundreds that you actually need for a single cell organism.
I mean, to be fair, I did know a girl actually that won £1 million in the lottery from her first lottery ticket, but I'll just say
So
that.
yeah, I think the chances of that are 1 in like
They're still very slim, aren't they?
40 million, so it'd be
Yeah,
like
yeah.
doing that, say, 1 billion times.
Yeah.
So like, the just sheer impossibility of life being by chance would be, I guess, one of the things that creation screams to us. I guess another reason for believing in God, like there's what's called the moral argument. Well, if I hit you, well, we need some basis
Please
to
don't do
agree
that,
whether. No, I wouldn't. But theoretically, if I was to, we need some standard to say, is that right or is that wrong? Like without a God, and admittedly that argument doesn't necessarily lead to the God we believe in, but it leads to a moral authority. We need a moral authority, otherwise, well, you might not like that I hit you. I might like that I hit you. I wouldn't, but that might be the case.
I think
So then, who is right, who is wrong?
Yeah, definitely. I think morality as well is such a massive topic. I think it's one of the things that also pointed me to look into Christianity is morality. I mean, like, one of the points that a Christian friend of mine once made was the fact that how can you say that anything is wrong, because what standard are you judging that by? If you believe that this whole universe, this whole cosmos is by accident, and there's no intention or purposeful creator behind that, then how can you say anything's wrong? For example, where are you getting your morality from? If you are murdering someone, or you know someone that's a murderer, and you're saying, oh, that's wrong, that they should be locked up, blah blah blah. By which standard are you judging them? Because we get our morality from the Bible.
Yeah.
That tells us what is right, what is wrong, and it also says in the book of Romans that what is right, what is wrong, morality is written on a man's heart, and that is why he has a conscience that condemns him when he does something that he knows is wrong. We know that lying is wrong. In fact, all of our laws are based somewhat on the Ten Commandments, which is another huge pointer to God. Yeah.
Another thing that we're actually discussing earlier on today was prophecy. So if someone told you exactly what was going to happen next week, you'd listen to them, right? You'd think, how on earth did they know that?
Yeah, if it came to fruition.
Yeah, if they were able to tell you every detail without being able to control it in advance. Like, you go, oh wow. And that's one of the things that we see in the Bible that would point to God, and specifically the God of the Bible, is that things like Jesus' death, burial, and burial and resurrection.
Speaking in tongues again, Andrew.
Absolutely. We're all foretold in the Bible. Like we have in Psalm 22, the very words that Jesus says, Eli, Eli, lama sabachthani, my God, why have you forsaken me? And we have the exact things that would happen, like that the Roman soldiers would gamble for his clothes. Like, Jesus could not have controlled what the Roman soldiers, while being nailed to the cross, would do with his clothing. But yet, we're told that that's what happened.
And even, like, the book of Isaiah, it was written 700 years prior to Jesus walking on earth, and you've got Isaiah 53, for example, that just undeniably points towards Jesus, like a lamb he was led to the slaughter, and just prophetic, and 700 years later coming to fruition in Jesus Christ when he died on that cross 2,000 years ago.
Yeah.
And you're just like, there's a 700-year gap, and it's God. It has to be God behind it.
Yeah.
But yeah, we also understand that there's prejudices, there's judgments, there's reasonable conclusions why people say and conclude that there is no God. The Bible is quite blunt. It says that only the fool in his heart says there is no God. But there are different and various factors why, can science really disprove God? These big questions, and we love hearing these questions so that
Absolutely.
we can answer them as honestly as possible, because we're not going to claim like we have all the answers either. And to look into these things very unbiasedly as well, to reassure, 9 times out of 10, Andrew, you'd say as well, that we come out ourselves more confident in God and in our faith from asking these questions.
Absolutely.
These big questions, and you can't run away from them.
Like one of the biggest ones we actually looked at in church recently was, why would God allow suffering? Or
huge question.
Or
yeah, we need to do a podcast.
We
on
will
that
certainly. That is a question that we would like to address in the future. But if you have any questions or objections, please feel free to comment on our Facebook page or underneath our videos. We'd love to hear from you and interact with you.
Yeah, we love agreeing to disagree, and even if we don't believe the same thing, just being respectful, listening to what people have to say, and no hate here.
Well, thank you for listening to our second video, and we'll also be releasing a bloopers reel at some point, so keep an eye out for that. Thanks.